Hey guys, Tristan here for the CPAPstore.ca. Today we're looking at the ResMed Quattro Air. What, a brand new mask from ResMed? No, this is a legacy mask, but I want to make a video on all the masks we sell on our website, and I thought I would tap into some of our older legacy masks. So if you're looking at our website and saying, why is our prices more expensive on this? Is it a premium mask? No, it's a legacy mask. It's been out for like over 10 years, I think. And so they're a bit harder to get. Doesn't mean they're better, but people still like them. People still want to use them. So the Quattro Air is basically a full face mask that goes on top of the bridge of the nose. It uses the same cushion here as the F10. So the difference between the Quattro and the F10 is the Quattro goes above the bridge of the nose here, and that's where the headgear straps around the side. Whereas the F10 was almost like the first iteration of what we now know of the F20, and it goes down along the sides here. We have the headgear here. It's actually a very nice premium feeling headgear. They actually went away from this headgear with the newer masks like the F20. I actually think that the feel and just the overall detailing of these older headgears is actually kind of nicer. That is up until we get to the Velcro straps. I find that the Velcro straps on the newer models are a lot easier to grab, whereas these kind of older masks, it's a little harder to adjust. But the overall feel of the headgear itself is really, really nice. Now going down to the side of the mask here, we see these hooks here, and these hooks you can see don't require any magnets or any clips like that. Basically, you just take your loop of your headgear and slot it right down, and the tension of the mask keeps that in place. So that is a really nice option if you want a ResMed mask that doesn't have magnets. They are still available. You just have to get the older models. Most pacemakers are fine with the ResMed magnets. Check with your doctor, but there are certain styles of pacemakers and different types of internal medical appliances that you can't use any magnets. So the fact that there still is some options here without magnets is really nice. We have the front ball joint, or not ball joint, swivel joint here where the tube connects. It's a 360 swivel down here and then a full rotation up front. But this rotation, it is important to note, is a little bit trickier to turn around. It's not as fluid and nice as the newer F20s where you can just flick it and it's like super easy to spin. The front connection ports are a little more frictiony out at front there. Now in terms of the cushion itself, it's very similar to the F20. It's a little bit wider, a little bit shorter, but it's very, very similar. You can actually remove this cushion. So here I have a size large. Hold the hook where the hook is. You grab it to unlock it. So you grab it and then you pinch kind of where the size here says large, and then that pops it up. Same thing here. So you grab the little hook, just loosen it like that, and there you go. Sometimes these masks are a little bit tricky to learn how to remove the cushion. And I will take the medium here of the F10, just like that. And there you go. Now we have the F10 cushion on the Quattro mask. The main difference, like I said, is the top of the headgear. So the Quattro has the headgear that goes right above where that forehead is, and that basically allows you to kind of tighten down the mask a little bit more while having a more even pressure around the face. It is kind of a pain to put on compared to the newer mask because of the lack of magnets. I usually keep this one on here and then find the loop that goes around. Okay, so there we go. And because we have the top of the headgear here, I tighten these down quite a bit, and it's having nice even pressure right on the face. And to be honest, these front bars don't really bother me too much. One of my favorite masks is the Vitera by Fisher & Paykel, because when you close your eyes, you don't notice them, and they're honestly right in the middle of the bridge of your nose. So yeah, you see it a little bit with your eyes, but it's not crazy. So if you are looking for a mask, you're at a higher pressure, do consider the full face mask with the top bridge. Yeah, they look less sexy, but they do have a nice application of pressure on the cushion itself. And it's something that I think a lot of people go to a full face mask and they look at it and they're like, that's a no-go. But if you do need that high pressure, it's not a bad route to go. So what do I recommend the Quattro Air in 2024? It's actually not that bad of a mask. I like the ability that you can have this version of the headgear, and if you switch it out, you can easily have the F10 headgear that goes below the eyes too, so I like that about it. I also like that the mask, I think, is a little bit wider, a little bit better for flatter faces, and because I have a smaller nose and a flatter face, I do find that the Quattro Air / F10 does fit me a little bit better than the F20s. But I think for a majority of people that aren't me, the F20 actually does fit better. Another good thing with the F20s, like I said, you have that swivel ball joint in the front that is a lot more spinny, a lot easier to spin, and you have a little more degrees of freedom there with the ball joint as well. This guy keeps everything out of your eyes just like an F10, but for the most part, I do like the magnets, and I do think that the overall fit of the headgear of the F20 is a tiny bit better. And then you do have the option of having the memory foam cushion with the F Touch, and then the normal Air Fit version, which is just a silicone. So I think overall, the F20 is probably a better mask. Now, one thing that I find is pretty much the game changer between the F10/Quattro Air and the F20 is going to be the diffuser. The diffuser on the F20 has a little bit of fabric inside of it, and so you have that quiet air technology. When you're breathing with an F20, whether it's the Air Touch or the Air Fit versions, it's very, very low wind. So if you have a partner, you're not going to have much wind blowing them in the face. They had yet to, I guess, invent or develop quiet air with the Quattros back in the day, so you do not have a quiet air. You just basically have a hole. Is it a bunch of holes, or like you don't really have too much of a diffuser in the front of the mask, and so your exhale air is blowing quite a bit of wind out in front of the mask. It can be a little bit uncomfortable to you if it's hitting the pillow, but more so uncomfortable to your partner. I measured it at around 2.7 meters per second, which is right in that middle to high zone in terms of CPAP wind. Now, who is this mask for? I would say it's for someone who has a high pressure, who wants that extra stability with the Quattro. I would say it's someone who wants a magnet-free mask and doesn't mind the extra annoyance of putting these headgears on. Overall, that's my review of the Quattro Air. I hope this video gave you a little bit of understanding of what the mask is, why we still sell it, and who's it's for. If this video helped you out at all, please consider liking the video or subscribing to our YouTube channel.